can we say that when this RPC was, I don't know, compiled, was social media within the contemplation of the drafters? Is this provision outdated? Do we need to start talking of, okay, let's push for a review? Or has it outlived, literally outlived its importance, and we should be looking for something different? Thank you.
Well, I would say that when this RPC was drafted, I don't think social media was contemplated. That's just the fact. It wasn't contemplated. But the truth is, as far as this RPC is still in force, this is what we have, and this is what will govern us, and we still have to move by these rules. Although I will still say that there is need for this RPC to be amended, because looking at the reality of today, I remember that was it not last week I was at the legal business conference in Lagos, and Mr. George Etomi was saying there was a time that he was summoned because he had a law firm website. He was summoned, and they were raising eyebrows, saying the law firm website is against the rules of professional conduct. I never knew about that until he said it. And I was like, seriously, like there was a time that having a law firm website will be seen as a breach of the rules of professional conduct. Fast forward to today, almost all law firms have websites and nobody sees it as a breach again. Even the NBA has the NBA digital app. We have everything now. So we will continue to evolve with technology, because looking at it now, we are in the digital age. Everything now is digital. Everything is digitalized. We are in the social media age. Our clients are evolving. The kind of legal services they want now is legal services at the click of the button. They want to be able to connect with their lawyers on social media, on platforms and everything. So the RPC needs to be amended to accommodate our new reality of the digital age. And that is just it. But whilst we are still pushing towards this necessary amendment, I still tell lawyers that we still have to, play by the rules so that we don't get caught. And just like Nkem has said, we don't have to come with any advertisements or marketing that's going to be misleading, that's going to bring the legal practice to dispute, or that's going to diminish public confidence in the legal practice. We are not even supposed to come online, start comparing ourselves. I see some lawyers come online, they're like, I'm the most brilliant lawyer in this, I'm the most this and that. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And that is why it's good for us to read these rules. And I'm happy that Nkem has just read this, because a lot of lawyers don't even read it. Nkem has just read it to our ears now. So we know the limits, and we know, the exceptions, the lines that we should not cross. I believe RPC should be amended to accommodate our new reality. But for now, I believe we should still play by this rules. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Adedomade, on the same RPC, we are still on the same RPC issue. What's your own take? I mean, there's the argument for it should be amended. There's also the argument from Nkem that, okay, we play by the rules, this is what it says. But what's your take on that, sir? You're muted.
Okay. Thank you. Rules generally get amended from time to time, right? Not only the RPC, but even our laws get amended from time to time. One of our speakers just used the term new reality. So when there's a new reality, laws have to be amended to conform with that reality. So yes, on that subject, the RPC may need to be amended to a certain extent. In regards to media and use of media, I want to point out that social media is just one of the various media channels. It is the newest media channel, but there had always been other traditional media avenues, such as TV, such as newspapers. These were more popular back in the day, but now we have social media as an introduction. I don't believe that the rules do not provide for social media. It doesn't expressly say social media, but it does provide for use of media. Now, that use of media can be TV, can be newspapers, and as we have seen now, social media. But I believe that there is nothing a lawyer wants to do, right? Even within the current reading of the rules, within the current provisions of the rules, there's nothing a lawyer wants to do that a lawyer cannot do. As long as, like one of my speakers has said, you do it within the provisions of the rules and you do not breach those rules. So social media rules should not really be different from traditional media rules, right? Those same guidelines, I believe, apply to both of them. For instance, you coming out to say, oh, my firm is better than that firm in one area of law or the other, that could be said on TV too. It could be written in the newspapers too, and it can also be said on social media as well. So I don't believe that there is a particular restriction in the RPC as regards social media. I just believe it's in the applicability and how you use it. That is what I feel is most important in this regard, yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm getting the arguments, amendments, and Mr. Dedumade is saying, well, whatever it is we're doing can still be accommodated within what we have. Our Faith is saying, okay, we want amendments, but we still have to stick with what we have. And Nkem is saying, this is what the law says. This is the red line. So this is what we stick to. So I'm back to you, Nkem. Now, when you were reading the RPC, you mentioned the issue of confidentiality and privacy. Now, this has become a growing concern because social media, like Mr. Dedumade was saying, I don't think traditional media, I mean, you might not have confidentiality problem, might not easily happen, but nowadays, see people on WhatsApp status, they just post CAC certificate, you see the name of the company, they just say, we just got this for a client, or you see one trademark. So now, the issue of confidentiality and privacy when using social media to communicate, how does a lawyer navigate it? I want to push out my message, I want to market, but also what confidentiality is there. So that's like the safeguard. So how do I balance this? Thank you.
Thank you for this question. There's this popular saying that everything is content. So everybody just shares anything they like on social media. Well, before you created a social media account, right? You're first of all a lawyer. Before creating a digital law practice, you're first of all a lawyer who is guided by the rules of professional conduct. Rule 19 provides for privilege and confidentiality of clients, right? So whatever you want to share, I'll always say, examine in light of the RPC. Examine in light of Rule 13 of 19 of the RPC, right? Yeah, storytelling is great. Client stories are kind of interesting to share online. But remember, you owe them a duty to protect the information. You owe them a duty of confidentiality. For me, I believe that everything is not for likes and comments, right? You're a lawyer first of all before being a digital law practice. So you owe your clients that duty of confidentiality. So uphold that duty. Yes, you want to share stories, create your own stories and share. Storytelling is great. Storytelling is a great marketing strategy. Even experts will tell you that. Share stories, create stories and share. But important thing is ensure you do not cross that line. Don't use your client stories as for clickbait, for likes and for comments to get more engagement, to go viral and the likes, right? Remember that you owe them that duty and uphold that duty. I think sometime last year, I held a poll on my Instagram story. I think at that point, when I uploaded that poll on my Instagram story, yes. When I created a poll on my Instagram story, a lawyer used client information as content. So I wanted to get feel of lawyers. I asked them, do you think you should use your client story as content? Funny enough, 41% of the respondents said yes. So I was shocked. I'm like, really, you guys want to use your client story as content? He said, yes, it's content now, as long as it will bring them clients. But forgetting that they owe a duty of confidentiality to their clients. Beyond the money, beyond the likes and the comments, beyond the social media popularity, remember to uphold this duty of care you owe your clients. Everything is not content. You want to share stories, create your own story, create your own unique stories and share. Sometimes people say, okay, what about case studies?
Yes, I encourage lawyers to share case studies. Case studies is a great way to showcase your expertise, yes. But your case studies can be tweaked. For instance, in law school, we are giving case studies in during by examination. And some of those, I believe those questions were not real, right? Like the scenarios were not real life scenarios. So I believe that lawyers could also come up with those kind of scenarios for themselves and use their social media content instead of putting out client information, clients, and moreover, the Data Protection Act is there to help to protect client information. So in light of Data Protection Act, in light of Rule 19 of RPC, I believe lawyers should not cross that line. They should not use client information as, except, okay, let me leave it at that. I believe lawyers should not at social media. No, it's a no-no from me.
Thank you so much. So the takeaway from me for me here is, and I hope everybody on the call understands, not everything is content, because now this is the age of everybody wants to be content created by fire by force. Not everybody is content. You are first of all a lawyer. That lawyer comes first before a digital lawyer or a social media lawyer. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so Faith, I'm back to you. Now, let's be practical. Like, now we have said, don't do this now. Give us practical ways that a lawyer can leverage social media. Like, practical tips. Let's know, okay, and now I know what I cannot do. What can I do?
Okay. The first thing a lawyer should do on social media is to create content. And since we've heard that creating content does not mean that we should share our client information. So what kind of content should we create? So there are a lot of content we can create. We can share thought leadership content. These are content that seek to educate people about the position of the law. So it makes them see us as a thought leader, someone who is knowledgeable in the aspect of our law practice, and they come to us when they need legal services. So we can also share breaking news. If there is a particular practice area that we are really engaging in, we can monitor that practice area and be the first, to share breaking news and explain this news to people. We can also use user-generated content. We can ask them about different things that they are experiencing, and we can offer maybe some legal guidance to them, even though it's for general information. You must always state that it's for general information and it's not supposed to create any client attorney relationship. But we can ask them, because from my own experience on social media, I say that when you ask people questions and they are the ones to tell you, okay, we want you to talk about this. Okay, create a video about this. Okay, write about this. Those kind of content, it goes a long way to convert clients. So user-generated content are a very good way. We can also, okay, I said we can share breaking news. We can create a lot of content. We can teach them thought leadership. We can also share jokes. Not every time. I know we are professionals, but not all the time we have to just, be very serious and frown and everything. It's called social media. I know that a lot of people get along easily, especially the Gen Z lawyers. But for someone like me, I may not naturally get along with that. But I have to learn it, because I realized that on social media, people don't generally come there because they want to sit for bar exams. They are there because they want to, relax. And it is in the process of them relaxing that they come across my content. So I have to be relaxed. I have to be social. So you can share funny content, you can share jokes and all that. Then another thing I advise lawyers to do is digital networking. Social media marketing goes beyond just creating content and throwing content at their face. You have to be able to connect with them. And that's why I tell lawyers, when you create a post and people comment on your post, you have to respond to them. Don't snub them. When you see that there is a particular person that always comments on your post and is always rooting for you, you can take it a step further into the DM. You can take that relationship a step further. And some relationships have gone from social media to become very solid offline relationships. So I advise lawyers to take digital networking very seriously. There are a lot of people that I've met via social media. They've become great clients, and I never thought I could meet them. Like, there would not have been any opportunity for me to meet them physically, if not for the fact that I took that digital networking seriously. And another thing I do personally is I write fictional content. So I create a kind of, just like Nkem has said, I create a kind of scenario kind of content. And if you don't get to the end of my post, you won't even know that it's fiction. And a lot of people will come and say, oh, I can relate to this, I've experienced this before, and all that. So instead of people creating that kind of client, information, content, and everything, they can also create fiction that people can relate to, and they can be able to help their clients. And I also believe that if you can get, in some situations, if you can get the permission from a client, do you get what I'm saying? You can get permission to share some part of the maybe story and everything. If you can get express permission of the data subject, why not? You can share some of it. But the worst nightmare of any client would be to just come on social media and see this our story flying around. Do you get it? So please don't do that. So you can create fiction, you can get permission, you can create thought leadership posts, you can create jokes, you can create, even teaching posts, you can do breaking news, and you can take digital networking seriously. And by that, you'll be able to effectively leverage.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I hope our listeners are really taking note of like the very practical things you said. Because for me, the overarching thing is that disclaimer you put, this does not create an attorney-client relationship. For somebody will say, I'm a social media lawyer. And because before you know it, they're already thinking you are their lawyer already. I'm not your lawyer. This is purely for educational purposes. So don't take it too far. Okay, so now I'm back to Mr. Adedumade now. So this is now I have a concern. If we do the things that Faith just said, does that not make me look cheap? Okay, like, because I know it's a prestigious profession. That's part of why they say, clients should come to your office to come and give you brief, should have that prestige. Now, if I'm putting out content, I'm writing articles, giving the jokes and everything, does that not make me look cheap? Does that not cheapen, in quotes, the prestige that the profession is supposed to have? So how do I do what the things she said and still not, look cheap while doing it? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Social media can help a lawyer build brand awareness, right? It can help a lawyer get clients, and it can help establish a lawyer as a thought leader in their area of practice. It doesn't necessarily make you look cheap, especially if you are putting out high quality, informative, and professional content, right? When your content is quality, you don't look cheap. So in that sense, have a good camera, let what you're saying be the true position of the law. Let your audience learn from what you're saying. If you have all these things together, I don't think you're going to look cheap. I always tell people there should be 4 E's that guide you when you're creating content. Your content should educate, your content should enlighten, your content should entertain, and your content should be engaging. When you put together those 4 E's in a professional manner, there is no way you're going to look cheap. For instance, when you shoot a video or you create a content, let's assume it's a video content, right? Make sure your background is official. Make sure you are not speaking from a garage or a bus park or somewhere where your surroundings is dirty and littered. That will water down the conversation, except if what you're saying speaks directly to all those things in your background. But let them see you in a professional setting. Dress well. If you're a guy, wear a tie. Look formal or look semi-formal at best. If you put all this together and you're able to provide high quality content, then nobody is going to think that you're cheap. Now, in regards to content creation, right, that alone doesn't make you look cheap. And I believe it's because in Nigeria, we've not gotten to a certain level of social media use. That's why we believe it must still make people look cheap. If you're on TikTok today, right, and you follow legal content, you find lawyers in other jurisdictions sharing content that pertain to their areas of practice. And that doesn't make them look cheap. It's just how you present yourself in the long run. Also, once your audience finds value in what you're sharing, right, and it's something that is helping them in their personal or business endeavors, they won't think of you as cheap because they're learning a lot from you. What it will do to them, it will make them have more confidence in you, make them have more confidence in your ability, and even want to take it a step further by engaging your services because they've already been able to trust you after watching or reading or listening to your content over a period of time. Right. I also like to speak on what my sister just said, um, in regards to use of content, especially client content. So one thing many lawyers don't know is that your clients follow you on social media. If you have a phone and you use social media on that phone, you will notice that when you are on your social media page, you can get a referral. You can get a prompt that says, oh, somebody that you know is on social media. Will you like to follow them? Will you like to engage them? Your clients also get that prompt. So when they have your emails, when they have your phone numbers, and they sync all this to their social media platforms, they get that prompt and that tells them, oh, your lawyer is also on social media. Will you like to follow them? They will follow you, but they won't say anything. They just watch you, right? They don't comment on your posts. They don't even like your posts so that you don't know that they are there, but they are there watching you intently. So one needs to also be careful in the way you share their information. I've once shared a personal experience. So a client contacted me and asked me to, well, I'll just say it outright. Asked me to draft the deed of assignment for them. And he was offering me what was not 10% of the value of the property. It wasn't even close to 5% or 7.5%. He was offering me like a random figure, and it was like, you know what, can I just pay you this? And I apologized and I said, I'm sorry, I cannot accept that fee, right, for the work you want me to do for you. And immediately, this was a few years back, immediately I went to my Twitter and I tweeted and I said, imagine one client just called me and said I should collect so for so. Which kind of thing is this? That was the kind of reaction that I shared on my Twitter page. And will you believe that about an hour later, that particular client sent me a screenshot of what I wrote on Twitter? It was a lesson for me, right? The person didn't say anything. He just sent it to me and like, dude, I knew you were talking about me here, right? And it was a lesson for me. So since that day, I learned not to be in a rush to share things that happen to me professionally with my clients on Twitter or any other social platform. And it also made me to be circumspect. So I'd just like to share a few rules if you want to share content in that regard. One, obtain consent. Like my sister Faith has said, obtain consent. Two, anonymize the information, just like she said as well. Then three, if there's a particular relationship between you and that client that needs to be disclosed, disclose it. Follow guidelines in the RPC. Make sure you're not saying something that is reaching the RPC. Then also be careful of public perception. When the public reads what you're writing or listens to what you're saying, will they have a negative perception of the practice? If you're speaking about a case you're handling, will they have a negative perception of the courts? Will they have a negative perception of your fellow colleagues, even if it's on the other side from you? These are all the things that we need to put into context. But the use of social media itself does not make you look cheap. It's all in your presentation. Always remember, high quality information and professional content will always stand you out as a lawyer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So we are hoping that nobody goes after this and shares a client story on Twitter so that you don't receive a screenshot afterward. People say, so you were referring to me. But I mean, what if my Twitter page is just my rant board? Like something just happened, I'm so pissed. I go to rant and post it there. Well,
I understand that for lawyers, right? Be careful how you rant on your social media because right now you have to understand that your social media present is an extension of your presence, right? So when you are communicating on social media, communicate as you would in person, right? Let people see your social media page as an extension of your professionalism, as an extension of the kind of attitude that you bring to the fore when they engage with you. So when you're ranting, just be careful not to rant and let your clients see what you're ranting about. Thank you.
Okay. So the watch word, be careful how you rant. Watch how you rant. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, sir. So Nkem, I'm back to you. So from everything that Mr. Adedumade has said, from what Faith has said, I'm sure there are some very clear ethical issues that are ethical, like they're like ethical crossroads for lawyers. I want to use social media. These are things I should have backed my mind to their ethical concerns. Some of them already mentioned kind of subtly because of the conversations, but can you just clearly like articulate them? What are the ethical issues, ethical roadblocks that a lawyer who is seeking to leverage social media is likely, very likely to have to deal with? Thank you.
Thank you for this question. So there are a few ethical roadblocks I'll mention today. First of all is traditional advertising against content marketing. Traditional advertising says like the kind of adverts we see on TV, right? Buy this and you get this certain result. I'm the best in ABCD, right? I have 100% success rates. Either you buy or I give you back your money. All this kind of straight to the point, clean cuts kind of advertising. That's traditional advertising, right? So it's everything that I would say Rule 39 sub 2 frowns upon. That is traditional advertising. That's like one pitfall that many lawyers are facing in their practice. It's easy for you to say, I can help you get a certain result. It's easy for you to say, I'm the best in ABCD, right? But the RPC is against it. The RPC frowns upon that kind of advertising. So what should lawyers do instead? Lawyers should do their digital law practice the content marketing way. So what is content marketing? According to MailChimp, content marketing is a marketing strategy used to attract, engage, and retain an audience by creating and sharing relevant articles, videos, podcasts, and other media. This approach establishes expertise, promotes brand awareness, and keeps your business top of mind when it's time to buy what you sell, right? So content marketing is not in your face kind of marketing. It's not annoying because there's some kind of people there's some kind of posts I saw on social media, like this person's annoying me. And I just end up muting that person or following the person's page because you're advertising too much. It's just in my face. It's annoying. So I'll just go and unfollow you. Yes. But most of them are not lawyers, so other service providers. So, but content marketing is subtle. It's not in your face. It's gently seeps into your awareness, right? So when the need for your legal services arises, the person remembers, oh, I saw a lawyer that shared ABCD stuff on social media about this thing that I'm currently facing, right? It's not in your face kind of marketing. So the RPC, I would say the kind of marketing the RPC encourages is content marketing the content marketing way. You're not expressly saying I'm the best in my practice area. But when you share the kind of content the previous speakers have spoken on, when you share educating and engaging, enlightening, and I've forgotten the last word, the last E. When you share that, thank you. When you share those kind of content, right, it gently seeps into their subconscious. When you share thought leadership content, when you share educative content, when you share jokes too, there are some legal jokes people share, and it just sticks. When the need for legal services arises, they find their way to you. So you're not expressly saying I'm the best in ABCD practice area. Secondly, I would say using client information as content. We've said a whole lot about that, so I will not bore us on that topic right now. So basically, at the end of the day, protect your client information and don't use it as Number 3 is not having a clear defined practice area, target audience, not having a clear goal. Why are you online? It's easy for you to say, oh, I want to be the digital law practice. I want a social media page for my law firm. And you will go to Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn and open a social media page. But what's the end goal? Why are you doing this, right? If you do not start your practice from your end goal, you'll not get the results you want. it will lead you to, you face so many obstacles on your way. You have no clear direction. To get results online, to achieve all you want for yourself and for your clients online, you must have a clear goal. And having a clear goal means you must know exactly who you're showing up for. You must know the kind of legal solution and legal services you want to sell to them. You must know how you want to be perceived online, right? So, and you must know, and this whole thing, lack of the absence of a clear goal, right, affects your content marketing. It pushes you ever the wind blows, you go. If they say, come and do shameless marketing, like some people do on social media, you join them and do shameless marketing. Or doing shameless marketing, you're like, I don't want this type of lawyer, right? So you must have an end goal in mind. You must do your legal marketing, whatever you want to achieve online anyway, as long as you're a lawyer in Nigeria, you must do your legal marketing the content marketing way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Adedumade, I'll just quickly run back to you. So I have a question for you. Can I use a paid influencer as a lawyer? What's your take on social media influencer? I can get, let me think of one social media influencer, somebody who has a very huge following to push a content I want to push. So what's your take on social media influencer paid endorsements as a lawyer?
Okay, so we had a similar situation like this trend sometime last week. A certain influencer was speaking with his lawyer friend, from what I believe when I saw the video. And he made a video, and I think that video raised a couple of questions for that practitioner. The truth is, the use of an influencer, right, can help to create visibility for you, because influencers have a huge following, right? It can also help you get credibility and trust. If people trust that influencer, they will most likely want to trust you too. If they think that influencer is credible, they might also want to affiliate you with credibility or affiliate credibility with you. So those are pros, right, of using an influencer. I would like to say an influencer doesn't necessarily have to be a person who has a huge following, right? It could be a TV station because they also have a huge following. It could be a radio station because they also have a huge following. An influencer is someone that can influence their community to work with you, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, it can be a business as well. One thing I would like to point out to the use of influencing is ethical provisions, ethical standards. We already have heard about the RPC. We have heard about Rule 39 and the guidelines that it provides. So, irrespective of you using an influencer, right, you have to stick to that guideline. And I'll give you two different scenarios. I can have an influencer come to my office now, right, and say, oh, this is my lawyer, use my lawyer, you know, he did one good job for me, and I like him, and I trust him. You know, that is one way of using an influencer. I can also have that same influencer come to my office, and we discuss a topic that people want to listen to. We discuss a topic that people want to learn about. And I simply just educate that influencer and the public in general on that topic. You realize that the effect of both scenarios are different. The first one can be interpreted as a soliciting, using that influencer to solicit briefs, while the second one can be seen as using that influencer to educate. Now, the educative part will still have the effect that I want it to have. People will still believe I am credible because of what I'm teaching them. People will be able to trust me because they trust that influencer as well. And they are learning from the topic that I am discussing. They are finding value. So that is a proper way to use that influencer, right? Use that influencer to educate the public, not use that influencer to promote your services. When you are educating people, they are naturally already wanting to use your service. They are already having you on the top of mind and saying, you know what, if I have an issue and I believe this lawyer can help me, I can reach out to this lawyer. But when you now have an influencer that comes, like was seen in the video that was shared last week, that say, this is my lawyer, see his library, see his office, that I believe is a wrong way of using an influencer. Then also you don't want, like I said, you don't want to be seen as soliciting through the use of an influencer. You also don't want that influencer to misrepresent. And I'll give you an example. So there are some law firms that engage the services of other professionals, marketing professionals, to handle their social media pages, right? And someone who is used to being a brand influencer, who is used to working with brands such as artists, who is used to brands such as companies, a PR company might not understand what it means to be prim and proper, right? Because there are some things that are instilled in us right from law school, right? The way we conduct ourselves, the way we speak, the way we engage with third parties. A PR company might not understand that from a lawyer's point of view, right? A PR company can just go and say something on your social media pages, and that thing can cause problems for you because it's breaching the RPC. So it always goes back to the rules of professional conduct. Just ensure that what you're doing is not breaching the RPC. It's not seen as soliciting, either directly or indirectly, because that's what the RPC says. You cannot do that. So use of social media influencers should be tailored to be in line with the positions of the RPC. Like I said, using an example of those two instances that I do.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. So what I'm taking for it from what you just said now is I can use a paid influencer. I can do paid endorsements as long as it is still within the confines of the RPC, using them to educate people. And then people be like, oh, this person's lawyer, yeah, must be somebody who is good. I mean, this person usually would like to have something good for themselves. So
it is just like an advert, right? The RPC doesn't say you cannot make an advert. It just gives you the guidelines by which that advert should contain, or sorry, should be guided by. And it's the same thing with an influencer. It's kind of like an advert, right? But it has to be in line with the positions of the RPC.
Okay, thank you so much. Funny how I've hardly ever seen a law firm had like any lawyer do TV this thing. It's more of this social media thing, because Mr. Dedumade keeps going back to the fact that it's not just social media. We're all focused on social media. We can use TV, newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but I've never come across like the kind of content you see lawyers push on social media. I've not seen it on TV, in the news, or somebody using maybe paid influencer.
I'll give you an example. So social media takes three kinds of content, right? Audio, written, and visual. So you can write, you can speak, either via your audio or via your video. But a newspaper is only via writing. We have lawyers who write opinion pieces in newspapers, right? And those opinion pieces are educating the public. It is almost the same thing as me posting an opinion piece on my LinkedIn, right? It is still text, right? So that is what I'm trying to say, that it still correlates even with traditional media and new media. It's just a different way of expression. A lot of lawyers appear on the news to discuss issues that are germane to the public. In fact, the news and TV stations invite them, come and discuss this. I can as well set up my camera and discuss those issues and still post it on my Facebook. It's almost the same thing, basically. So yeah, they all still contact us and they do the same.
Thank you so much for that. So I'm back to you, Faith. Now this is particularly for young lawyers. Now I'm a young lawyer. I am still trying to find my feet in practice. I mean, I probably don't even have a paid job yet, but I have social media platforms. So first of all, so the question is in two folds. One, do you have a preferred social media platform, especially for marketing as a lawyer? That's one. Then the second thing is, as a young lawyer, I mean, where do you think I start from? Do I start first by writing think pieces on LinkedIn, Or do you think I should start by probably, I don't know, doing maybe like a mini skit or something? How do I start? And do you have, particularly as a person, do you have a preferred social media platform that you would recommend for a starter?
Thank you so much. For anyone who is starting on social media, I don't recommend any particular platform because it's not a one size fits all. It actually have to, you have to consider a lot of things. You have to consider your practice area. You have to consider your target audience. You have to consider the kind of content that's going to resonate with your target audience and the kind of content that would even be easy for you as a person. Generally some people they are camera shy. They don't like to face the camera. Some people are better writers. Some people are better speakers. So these are things that we have to put into consideration. The first thing is you are starting, you have to understand your practice area. And I will tell you why. If I am a wills lawyer, if I cater to senior citizens, I help them to plan their estates and all those things. And you are a lawyer to maybe techies and content creators, you would agree with me that the platform where you would find people who are techies and content creators using the most is not the same platform where you would find these senior citizens who are already established. So if we want to talk about, okay, all these techies and content creators and all that, we'll be looking at, okay, maybe TikTok, we'll be looking at maybe Twitter and all that. And for me, if I want people who are already senior citizens and are established, that means I'll be looking at maybe Facebook, I'll be looking at LinkedIn for professionals who are established and all that. So it's not like a one size fits all. It really depends on what you are doing. What's your practice area? Who are your target audience? Who are the people you are serving? What is the kind of content that will resonate with them? I can't just say you should go on social media and pick out your phone and start doing skits and start dancing. If you want to connect with senior executives or people who are already established, like maybe Statoni and Lumelu and all that, and then you start dancing and you are just doing skits. I don't know, but personally, I think you would maybe have a difficult time trying to connect with them. You may finally connect with them, but naturally, that's not the kind of content. But if you want to connect with all these content creators, entertainers, skit makers, and all these younger boys, then that might probably work. So it's not like a one size fits all. The first thing is you have to understand your practice area. And that's why we tell lawyers to niche down. We tell lawyers, don't just say you are doing everything. Try to pick a particular practice area and all that. Then you understand your audience analysis, what's their age range, what's their interest, what's their interest, what kind of language that appeals to them, the kind of content that they consume. Where can you find them? Even on social media, let's assume that you have decided that, okay, these people are on Facebook. There are some, groups where they belong to. There are some influencers that they follow. Where can you really find these people? So that's where you're going to pitch your digital law practice tent. And that would also determine your brand voice, because the essence of communication is understanding. So you have to use a brand voice that your audience can relate to. So that would also lead to you determining your brand voice, and it will now lead to you determining the kind of content that would now work. So, but generally what I tell people these days is, irrespective of your social media platform, you would understand that all social media platforms now are now encouraging videos. So encouraging videos might not necessarily mean that we are now shooting skits. It could be thought leadership, it could be education, it could be anything, but whatever you are doing, whichever platform you are using, whatever practice area, please incorporate video marketing into your social media strategy, because it has the highest form of results. Now, whether it is recorded videos, reels, whether it is live webinars, live streaming, trainings, and online events or anything, just incorporate video marketing because it has the highest reach and highest results present. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So, dear young lawyer, if you're on the call, the first thing to identify is, do you have areas of interest? Who are the people you're seeking to reach out to? How do I reach them? Where are they? Before all this will, in the long run, either help you narrow down to the type of social media platform to use, or even within a particular social media platform, you will know, do I need to be a part of a particular group? Do I need to go to just help it to guide you? And but always remember, you still have the RPC, you still have the confines of the RPC to work with. Thank you very much. So I'm going to spread this question across all our speakers. How do I convert my social media followership to money? Very important. How do we move from I do content, I do this and that? How does that translate to money in the long run? So I'm going to start with, okay, how do I translate my social media following, the content creation work I've been doing? How do I translate that, actively translate that to money? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. There are several ways you can translate your social media followers to money. Important thing, whole essence of social media marketing is to get clients, to make money online. We're not just online to gather likes and comments. We're here online to make money, right? First of all, know why you're showing up online. Why are you doing this digital law practice? Yes, so know why you're showing up online. The reason, your ultimate goal, your ultimate reason will guide you in helping you achieve that goal, right? To set you on the right path and help you achieve your social media goal. If your goal is to make money online, right, you must know who is going to pay you. It's not enough to say, this person is my target audience, this person is my ideal client. They have the financial capacity to pay you. Is it enough to say, I serve business owners? Meanwhile, your messaging is speaking to small business owners. Are you expecting millions and millions of naira from them? I'm not sure stay-at-home moms, for instance, or students running the side business have the capacity to pay you. So if you're saying my target audience, expecting millions of naira, I help them launch legally protected businesses, I would say, look at startups. Those people, the early stage founders, can pay the money you're looking for, right? So it's not enough to say this is business owners, my target audience. I'll always tell the lawyers I work with, go deeper. Who exactly in that space can pay you what you want? You want to help lawyers, you want to make money online, yes, by helping them launch legally protected businesses. Okay, who can pay me the money I want, the legal solution I provide? Startups, right? You tell your messaging, your content, the way you show up online to speak to that people, right? Then you must have a legal solution in place. Legal solution differs from legal services. Legal services is CAC registration, contracts, IP, and all of that. They're all legal services. But legal solutions borders on the outcome. What results are clients paying you to help them achieve? So I'll always tell lawyers to sell the results and not the legal services. Sell the outcome, sell the transformation you make possible for clients, right? When you do that consistently, it's enough to do it for 2 weeks, for 1 month. I say, oh, this thing is not working. No, it takes, so I know we don't like saying that part, but it takes a lot of consistency and time to get the results you want from digital law practice. Yeah, social media marketing is rewarding. There is money in it. There are opportunities abound, but it takes a lot of consistently doing the right things. If you say consistency and you're consistently doing the wrong things, you get frustrated and eventually drop off. But when you do the right things consistently, you get the result you want. Then know who you're showing up for, like your target audience, call them out in your content. Don't say business owners. Anybody's a business owner. Lawyers are business owners. Doctors are business owners. Doctors that own their own practice are business owners. Content creators are business owners. Who exactly is this business owner you're calling? Call them out in your content. If they're early stage founders, say early stage founders, call them out in your content and they will know you are there for them and approach your DM. Again, be consistent. Even when it looks like nothing is happening, don't give up. Just keep doing the right things and the results you want will come. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Adedomade, how do I move from followership to making money out of it?
I want people to understand that when a potential client comes across your content, right, they might not have an immediate need for your service at that point in time, but they will follow you and keep on reading up on your content. And when they need you, they contact you. So if you're putting out content and you think it's going to yield clients in the next 2 or 3 days, then that's not the case, because not everybody needs your services at that point in time. That's one. Two, your social media should not be a billboard. When I mean a billboard, we all know what a billboard is. When we go on the road, vehicles, we drive past billboards. Billboards just display. Your social media should not just be a display. It should be a form, a place for engagement. So let people be able to contact you when they post a comment, respond to it. It's all those kind of engagement that make them endearing to that make you endearing to them and makes them want to follow up with you. Then also, like I mentioned, it's not a one-day thing, right? It could take months, it could take 2 or 3 months, it could take a while, right? Before you are able to land that group. Because it takes a while before people trust you. And I'll give you an example. If you see a vendor selling phones online on your Instagram, right? You are always careful to want to engage that vendor. You go and research the vendor. You go through their pages. You go through the comment sections of their pages. You want to find out if people are complaining about the vendor. You want to find out if this vendor is actually authentic and if they are delivering the products that they are saying that they're delivering. So a potential client will also research you before they contact you. They will Google your name, they'll Google your firm, they want to see where you work, they want to see the people you work with. So they do all these things before they eventually contact you. So the fact that they don't contact you in the first 2 days doesn't mean that they are not watching, doesn't mean that they're not carrying out their research on you. So I'd like you to be patient when you engage social media. Be very patient. Know that it will yield at the end of the day. And how you respond to people on social media is also very important. Something about Twitter is people find Twitter a bit rash. They feel that Twitter is strictly for bad news, if I may use that term. And some people are very careful. When you are a lawyer on Twitter, you have to be careful with the way you engage. If people see you as this most kind of person, if you come out as uncultured, if you come out as being fighting with people all the time, they might read your content. They might learn from your content, but they might not want to work with you because of your personality. They just might not like your personality. They might see you as being abusive and tell themselves, you know what, I don't really want to work with this kind of person. And you might not know that is why they don't want to come and work with you. You just feel putting content out there and nobody is reciprocating. So you always have to be careful, right? So there's one person that abused me on Twitter. I made a comment on an issue that was a topic of debate, and the person just said, I have always known these suit and tie people on Twitter. They are always very dumb. And why the person said so was because my avatar on Twitter was me wearing a suit and a tie. And the person made that joke, that these people that wear suit and tie do not have sense. Naturally, someone might want to respond and abuse the person in return, or insult the person in return, or use some harsh words in return. But I did not do that. Instead, after about 2 or 3 tweets with the person actually apologized, right, for the statement that they had made, and we became social media friends. So, and I believe that is a proper way to engage the person. Anybody who has seen that exchange will have thought of me and say, "Oh, this person gave a very mature response to what was perceived as an insult." But when they insult you and you don't give them back, those, and people will just see that and also look at well and say, so this is the kind of person this lawyer is. So you always have to be careful in your engagement. But I just want to share some guidelines on how you bring all those to the fore. So number one, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve on social media? Do you want to be seen as an expert? Do you want to be seen as a funny person? Do you want to be seen as a professional in the area of law? Do you want to attract clients? Do you want to be seen as a thought leader in an area? What are your goals? What areas of practice are you in? right? How is the best way to communicate value to your potential clients who are having business in that area, right? What are your values as a person? How do you communicate those values to people on social media so that they know the kind of person that you are? You know, think about who is your ideal client, right? Write that down. Who is my ideal client? What would they like to hear? Where are they? How can I find them? All these things should also be a guide. Then how do you intend to share your track record over time? Like my sister Faith has said, and in terms as well. How do you intend to share your track record without, of course, breaching the data of your client? So those are some of the guidelines that we like us to think through when we were thinking of how to convert our potential customers or our potential clients or our viewers on social media to actual paying clients.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. Before I allow Faith go at that question, I just have a few announcements. Number one, we are gradually rounding up the session. So we'll soon be for questions and comments, please use the chat box. Number two, please you can check the chat box. This the webinar is ICLE accredited. So there's a link for your ICLE points. You can just click on the link, you fill the form for ICLE points, please. Can you take note of that? The link has been shared, I think, about 3 times already. So you can click on the link to get your ICLE points. They come in handy one way or the other. So thank you very much for that. Okay, Faith, so back to you. How do I convert? How do I make money from my social media marketing? Thank you.
Okay, so to corroborate what other speakers have said, I just have 3 points. The first thing is all lawyers should have a consultation payment link attached to their social media account. So if a prospective client should land on your social media page today, is there an introduction or an introductory post that ends with a link where they can book a consultation or book legal services or just contact you to speak with you? Because I realized that most of the times when people come across with our social media page, they read our post and they love it and they want to speak with us immediately, or they want to schedule a consultation, they want to make payment for something, and then they begin the ultimate search. There is no link, there is nothing, there is no introduction, there's no way to book a consultation. Most of them will now even go to your inbox and send you a message. And don't forget that on social media, the message, once the person is not your friend already, the message will not come directly into your inbox. The message will go into the spam folder. So most lawyers will not even see that message until maybe days or weeks or months after. So if you don't have a consultation payment link, consultation booking link attached to your social media account, then you have to do that now, because you are leaving a lot of money on the table. So once I land on your social media page, especially for social media platforms that allows you to maybe pin post or do something like that on Instagram, on Facebook, or other social media handles where you can pin your post, there should be an introductory post to say, okay, welcome to my page, welcome to my world, this is my name, I'm a lawyer, I do this and that, and it should end with a link where they can make payment or book consultation. The second thing I tell lawyers is that you need to create digital products if you really want to make money on social media. Yes, you have legal service, but you still need digital products. And what are digital products? Digital products are things that can be sold over the internet. They are legal information that you have packaged and put in a consumable format that can be consumed over the internet. So we are talking about you creating an ebook. We are talking about you creating maybe an online course, you creating maybe a coaching program, you creating maybe a mentorship, you creating maybe a paid group or something like that. Because there are some people that come to your page and before they book your services, they may be skeptical. They want to see what you are made up of. So they can start from that, your book. I have something on my page called the Legal Health Checkup. The Legal Health Checkup. So I realized that most people that I work with, they first go and click on that legal health checkup. It takes them to Seller, where they can pay and book for it. By the time they pay and book for it and they go through it, it's not like an ebook. It's like a legal health check where they get scores, they get asked questions. It's like a questionnaire, and I award points. And it is automated. It's completely automated. So once they go through it and they get an automated response in their email saying that, okay, this is your legal health checkup points, and this is what you need. They now get recommendations and everything. They will now reach out to me to now tell me that, okay, they need legal services. I've realized that people that go through the rank of buying maybe my digital product, maybe they saw my book. I have a book on my page, or I have some courses on my page, and they buy that book. They become loyal clients. They become recurring clients, because once they buy a product and they see that, oh, this product is good, maybe they buy a book. They may be thinking of signing up for your course. And from there, they are thinking of using you as their legal practitioner or their lawyer. So if you want to really make money on social media, you have to understand that services will not always sell. Like, services are not like everyday markets. So there are days where services would sell. There are days where products would sell. Your ebooks would sell. Your courses would sell. Your checklist would sell. So you have to balance it. You have to create legal services, payment link, and you also have to create your digital products, legal information products, and put it on social media so that people can buy it, you make money from it, then they come and also engage your services. Then the last thing I'm going to say is, when you create your post, learn to put a call to action at the end of your post, because people don't actually know what to do unless you tell them what to do. So someone has read your post, the person really likes your post, and the person is thinking, how can you become my lawyer, or something like this? Or the person is thinking, how can I contact you? And you just put it at the end of the post that, okay, thinking of, or does this content resonate with you or resonate to you and all that, thinking of contacting me, or would you like to talk? Can you send a DM or something like that? They would definitely do it because you put it there. Even if you tell them like it, share it, or something, they will definitely do it. But from my experience, if you don't tell people what to do, people don't know what to do. So my 3 points: create a consultation payment link where they can book your legal services. Create your digital products where they can buy your legal information products. Then number 3, always include a call to action at the end of your post. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Faith. Thank you very much. So I'd also like to say that Faith has a presentation. She has prepared some slides. With our permission, we'll share it with the audience, with the participants at the end of this presentation. So we are gradually closing in. So I kept posting in the comment section if anybody had any questions. So I can see only one question, and I'll be directing this question to Nkem to answer. The question is, good morning, my name is Benjamin Shepe. Please, we have always talked about the red line. Does having a session online, sharing a view on issues, and introducing oneself as an expert in such area amounts to crossing the red line? This is for you, Nkem.
I would say it depends on the content of the conversation, because the answer is either yes or no, but has to be examined in light of the rules of professional conduct of Rule 39, right? There is nothing wrong with holding webinars. SBL holds webinars almost every day on Twitter. They hold Twitter spaces, right? They have their own webinar sessions. Lawyers do Instagram lives. People do LinkedIn audio events, right? So there's nothing wrong in sharing your legal opinion. Like the previous speaker said, one of the speakers said something about written media, right? People share opinion pieces on newspapers. They share it in newspapers, right? So it's just like converting your newspaper opinion piece to a webinar or a live event on Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn. There is nothing wrong with sharing live events, but important thing, what's the content of this live event, right? I could hold myself out as an expert in ABC practice area. I don't think, because we have constitutional law experts, we have election matters experts. So there's nothing wrong in holding yourself out as that. But the important thing is, what's the content of the conversation? What are you guys saying in that conversation? That will determine if the conversation is in line with the rules of professional conduct or not. So weigh whatever I have to say in that program or in that event in line with the rules of professional conduct, especially Rule 39 and Rule 19 of the rules of professional conduct. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Benjamin, I'm sure you got in terms of intervention to your question. Thank you very much. So far, that's the only comment I can see. And okay, so I want to take this to mean that everybody is literally trying to brood on the things that was said, because I know this is a very practical issue. And I'm going to be honest, this whole thing can be very overwhelming. Like, because for me, the issue is you have to show up all the time. You have to, whether you feel like writing that think piece, you feel like writing that article, you feel like, what, you don't have to feel like it. You have to keep doing it. Shape, you are the one that say you want to market yourself on social media. You have to, because you cannot post content today and the next time we see you is in 2 months. It does not show that you are serious.
Okay,
So,
I would like to add something to what you just said, right?
okay.
Many has confused frequency with consistency. Frequency means not back to back every day I'm showing up, but consistency means showing up when you say you show up. It could be 3 times a week. It could be twice a week. You have like a calendar and you're sticking to it. But frequency, you're posting content back to back, to even when you're tired, you just want to take a break, but no, you have to keep posting content back to back, and it's not healthy, right? So in the marketing space, we'll tell you, focus on consistency over frequency. Run at your own pace. Don't compare your day 1 with someone else's day 100. Because there are some lawyers that you look up to online. They are getting all the briefs, they are getting opportunities, and you want to be like them. So you want to burn out before you get there. No, even their day 1, they struggled. But end of the day, they got to where they are. So consistency at the end of the day pays off. So focus on consistency over frequency. Show up when you say you will show up, and have a clear goal. At the end of the day, everything will work out well. It could be overwhelming, yes, but at the end of the day, take breaks, yes, cry if you want to cry. By the end of the day, it's a journey worth investing in.
Thank you so much. So consistency over frequency, and I'm really hoping that that from now we see, especially for those who are already on social media, we get to see improved conversations, we get to see improved content creation, not the usual CAC certificate posting and all those things we used to see. We are hoping that this is your call to repent and adjust accordingly. So, okay, overshot by 3 minutes, and there's another session coming in. So I'm just going to go around the table and take like parting words, last minute word for the participants. So I'm going to start with Mr. Adedumadi. Your parting words, please.
My parting words would be high quality professional content. I want you to hold on to that and ensure that whatever you're sharing is seen in that light, because that is what will actually attract the kind of value that you want to attract. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Faith, your last your parting words. Sorry, not your last words.
My parting word would be that social media is good. Be sure that you have a goal so that you don't get carried away by the noise on social media. And be sure that whatever you are doing aligns with your goal. Also, be sure that you have a monetization strategy so that you are not just wasting your energy and your resources and your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Emphasis on have a monetization strategy, so that at the end of the day, you're not just doing it for the fun of it. Nkem, your parting words.
My parting words would be, your clients are waiting for you online. There is abundance of clients online. There is a legal solution that only you can provide. And you hiding and being afraid is depriving someone of a legal solution they need, right? So come online, shine your light so bright. Even if you think your practice area is there are too many lawyers in that practice area, they still need you. There is something only you can offer your clients. So come online, shine your light, and make financially rewarding impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Make financially rewarding impact. And from my hand, I'm going to say, if you need to talk to an expert, if you need to get a professional to walk you through this journey, there's no harm in that. consult somebody. I mean, the 3 speakers we have here, I can confidently say they are people you can reach out to, not for free, to help you craft a social media plan. I mean, like Nkem was saying, consistency. You might need to come up with maybe a content creation calendar or something so that you know what you're to post per time. So the 3 speakers we have here are people you can reach out to for a fee, and they will walk you through, especially because you have the added advantage that they are lawyers, not just brand influencers who just want to push everything out there for you, or the typical PR guys. These are lawyers who will also do what they are doing, but within the confines of the RPC. So on this note, okay, I'm trying to check if the branch chairman is on the call, but I know I saw the Law Week Planning Committee chairman earlier. Okay, Mr. Victor, would you like to say something to our audience before we wrap up this session? We are already eating into the time for the next session. Mr. Victor Giwa, would you like to say something? Okay, so somebody's asking for the contact of the speakers. So I'm just going to allow each of the speakers, please, our speakers, you can enter the chat box and, you know, post your contacts, maybe your social media handle, your email, I don't know, however you can be contacted, because I'm sure there are people who, after this webinar, want to really take actionable steps and have someone walk them through this whole social media and content creation journey so that they can begin to go for their clients online. Like Ikem said, your clients are out there, they're waiting for you. It's a solution that only you can provide. So please, you can, yeah, Mr. Adedumade at Adedumade on all platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, every platform available. You can reach out to them and send a DM, and then you'll take it. Okay, Nkem, Instagram at Nkem Okoye, LinkedIn Nkem Jika Okoye. Okay, so I'm waiting for Faith. I'm waiting for Faith to post social media plus. So please, you can follow them. You can reach out to them to walk you through, because it is important. I mean, there's money to be made, so we cannot keep leaving money on the table, because that's always been RPC say don't advertise. I'm sure as many people who attended this webinar will not go back after now to say RPC said don't advertise. So okay, Faith. Okay, yes, Abimo Olayiwola. Our WhatsApp contact is there. Our Facebook handle is Abimo Olayiwola, LinkedIn, and Digital Lawyers Network on Instagram. So please, you can follow them. You can reach out to them, you can contact them. So I'm just going to give like 1 minute for as many people want to catch this contact before we end the call. Once again, on behalf of the planning committee of the 2024 Law Week of the Nigerian Bar Association Garki branch, it is my pleasure to say thank you so much for coming. Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, yeah, Nkem just shared our WhatsApp handle as well. Thank you so much for coming out, for taking time to join us on this virtual session, and we had good attendance and the participants stayed through. And most importantly, thank you for keeping your mics muted, so we were able to have each free conversation. Thank you so much. So I'm sure by now, anybody desiring to have anybody's contact has gotten it. And if you did not get it and you still need it, you can reach out to me afterwards. So I'll be able to link you up with them. Thank you so much. And we'll be going on to the next session after this. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for taking time to do this with us. My name is Damilola Victoria Labi, and once again, it has been my utmost pleasure to be your moderator in this session. Thank you, and we hope to see you in the next session. So thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.